What's up, guys? We got a remote start kit for a 2009-2010 Dodge Journey, which activates your parking lights. This one goes down to the driver's kick panel, which is going to be kind of like right behind or below where the hood latch is down in here. So the areas that we need to get to in the Journey are going to be right here behind this tip start and or push button start. And how we do that is this lower panel right here is going to pop down. So the easiest way to do that is to take a plastic pry tool or a screwdriver and just put it in here, and this will pop right down and it won't damage your dash or anything. Do the same thing on the other side, and then there are going to be some 10 millimeters on this knee bolster, the metal part that you'll have to remove. So let me do that and then I'll show you what we do next. Okay, so on the plastic dash panel, there are actually 10 millimeter under on the left and another 10 millimeter on the right. That'll pop the plastic off. And then on the metal part, there's two 10 millimeters here and another two here. So there's 6 10 millimeter bolts that you'll have to remove to gain access to the box up here. And you can see the plug is clearly accessible. So what we're gonna do is unplug this. There's a tab right here, you just release it, and then we're gonna plug our T-harness in. So my male goes here, and this plugs right into my female. Just a note too, guys, I actually used an impact to get these 10 millimeters out. If you're using a socket, some of them are kind of in there tight, and they're, you know, they're not like long, but if you're using a socket, it might take you a little bit to get all these out. So just an FYI, if you got access to an impact and a 10 millimeter, I would definitely recommend that. So let me plug my T-harness in, I'll show you what's going on. All right, so make sure when you plug this in that it clicks. So I got my T-harness installed here. Male goes here, the factory connector goes into my female, and you're gonna bring this over. Typically, I'm gonna reroute this, but it goes in behind this bar, and then when you put the panel on, it won't get caught or anything. So basically this one right here just needs to go in behind. So I'm gonna leave it for now since the video. And then route your module over back in behind this bar in here. There's a big fat wire loom, if you can see that right here, that you can zip tie it to and secure it, and it won't rattle or move around. So I'm not gonna do that just yet. The white wire right here, we're gonna route it down to the driver's kick panel here and connect for parking lights. All right, so before I get too far, I say too far, I already got it tore up. So I pulled this seal plate up right here first. Just put a screwdriver or some cutters or something and pop it up, gain leverage. There's 1, 2, 3 tabs that you need to pop up. This piece right here overlaps the kick panel part. The plastic right here seats up in behind it. So I just put a screwdriver in this little crease and popped it out. And there's 3 tabs. So you can see that right there, and you'll be able to gain access to it. And then the kick panel part loops around like the hood latch, but you can pull it straight out and you'll see the tabs. There's one right here that goes down in here, and then the other 2 are, one goes in and one goes forward. So there's one, and the other one is right down in there. So once you get that removed, we're looking for the harness to the rear, which right behind this carpet is there, and I will get the wire out and show you what color it is and all that good stuff. Okay guys, so it's a white white wire with a purple tracer, and I'm gonna show you how to test this. I recommend that you test this before you hook a wire up. If you don't, you're gonna damage something. So let me tell you this, your remote start will work and function just fine without this wire. So if you don't have a way to test the parking light wire, do not hook it up until you can test it, because you're shooting 12 volts down here to illuminate parking lights. So if you grab the wrong wire and you shoot 12 volts at it, you're gonna damage something. So you're responsible for testing the appropriate wire, and I'm gonna show you how. So basically what I got here is a power probe. It's grounded out right now, so I got a green light and it shows me 0 volts. When I reach up here and turn the parking light switch on, it turns red and it shows me 11.5 volts. And when I turn it off, it goes back to ground. So it's a white with a purple stripe. But again, if you don't have a way to test this, do not hook it up until you do. Get a buddy's meter, go to AutoZone, buy a meter, I don't really care, use a test light. You need to confirm this connection before you hook our parking light wire up to it. We're not responsible if you blow something up, so just keep that in mind. The remote start will function without this connection, so you can do the steps that I've showed you up until now, program the module, and use the remote start. You just won't have parking light illumination until you hook this up. So again, but look, there's another white purple right here. The one right here that I cut with a razor blade for testing, that's it. This one is not it, and there very well might be. I mean, there's a ton of wires down in here, so you need to confirm this wire before you hook it up. All right, so this is our first generation harness. You might actually have a safety disable switch that comes off of this harness and loops over. It basically cuts the power to the unit, so if you're going to service your vehicle, you can just flip that switch off and it disables the remote start. So I'm going to show you the programming process. So what we're going to do is, there's a button on this module on the front. Yours is probably going to be on the left hand side. This is the DBL2. The DB3 is the replacement model, which looks a little bit different. It has a faster processor and a whole lot of other features. So the button's going to be over here on the side for yours. So if you have the button and no switch, you're going to hold the button. You're going to insert the blue connector until this light comes orange, and then you're going to let go of it and it's going to turn red. Now if you have the button, you'll connect these two already. The switch will be off. I'm sorry, I said button. So the switch will be off, and then what you're going to do is push the button, flip the switch on, and you'll do the same thing. Wait for it to turn orange, let go of the button, it'll turn red, and then we're at the same point right now. So our production harnesses with the switches are being made right now. So the harnesses that we have, I think we got like 250 left, do not have the switch. So either way, man, if you need to disable it, you can simply just unplug the blue connector and it kills power like that. And when you plug it back in, you won't have to do any programming. It'll just kind of pick off where it left off. So anyway, I'm going to do this again. So hold the button, plug the connector in, it turns orange, let go, turns red, and then what we're going to do is basically we're going to take this key, and if you have a push button, you're just going to turn ignition on. So since I got a tip start, I'm just going to turn ignition on, and you're going to see what this LED does. So I got the key in, I'm going to turn it, and it's going to start flashing green here in a second like that. Take the key out, and then you hit the unlock button on the key fob. So it's right here, so I'm going to hit unlock, and it's solid green, and then turns off, and then we're good to go. So now I can hit lock 3 times. 1, 2, 3. You'll see the module light up, it'll start flashing here, and then it's going to go green pretty quick, and we're running. What the hell? So our car's running, parking lights are on. You can see the instrument clusters on. We got the gas gauge, the tax reading, radio's on, and our light blinks green to let us know the remote start's activated, and our parking lights are on. Obviously the dash is lit up. So from here, you basically, that's it. You can reassemble the car. Like I said, up here there's a big loom to wire this to. I'm going to reroute this behind the bar. Just an FYI too, if you get in and push the brake without the key in the ignition, remote start is now dead, it kills it. So run time's 15 minutes. At the end of 15 it'll turn off. You can simply just hit it again and restart it. So 1, 2, 3. Give it a second here and you'll see everything light up, and we're on. So that's it. What is this, a 10-minute video? So it'll take you probably less than 5 minutes to install. This is probably your worst part, but it's required on the Journey for parking lights. It's not required for remote start function. So, man, I appreciate you guys watching once again. If you guys have any questions, please reach out to us. You can email us at info@12volt.solutions, or I'll put a link down in the website, or I'm sorry, a link down in the description for the website and the product page. And as far as I know, we're the only Dodge Journey harness that will turn on the parking lights. All the others do not. And again, We're just here to provide you with the best possible, easiest, and most innovative kits on the market. Thanks for watching, guys, and we will have another one for you shortly.